Hello everyone, it's indeed inspiring to see you back again. And in this tutorial, we are going to discuss about a concept called as data types. Data types is fundamental concept in any programming language. And let us try to understand what exactly is this. So the first word is data. Now, can you see around you and tell me, can you sense data out of the things you are able to see? You'll be able to do that. Let's say you look at a particular key which is kept around you. So key, Key, is a data. Now how many keys are there? Let's say there are two keys. So 2, the number 2 is also data. Now can you check that how much amount has been deducted by bank for the SMS charges? Let's say it is 50.23. So this is a floating point number. Now let's say you go to market and you want to buy something and you bought a dozen of bananas. A dozen, that is basically one dozen or 12 bananas. This is integer. So can you see that the things around us are basically represented by data. It can be their name. Let's say nouns are there. So nouns has got their names. And then it can be some quantity. It can be some qualitative data. So we have data with different types, right? So float is there, numbers are there, strings are there, or a group is there. A list of items are there. So let us try to understand the concept of data types. Python data types. This word data has been very much popular. But if we talk about data types, it basically tells us that what exactly that data is of kind. For example, you can go to market and you can buy something. When you are buying something, that time you are paying an amount. That amount comes in decimals. So this kind of data is a bit different. When you are counting what you have bought, then that data is countable 1, 2, 3, 4. So that data is numerical, but it is not in floating point or decimal point. When you are taking name of that particular item, then basically that data is not a number, but rather it is a name, which we normally call as a string in programming languages. So exactly, data type is basically type of data. That data is of what kind? Let us start understanding. Python programming has got numbers, strings, list, tuple, set, dictionary. And one more is there, which is boolean. So here you can see total 7 types we are going to see. Let us begin one by one. The first one is numbers. Number is basically mathematical object which can be used for counting, measuring or labeling as well. In case of numbers, we have 3 types. One is integer, another is float and one more is complex. Let us practically see that. So, if I talk about numbers, I can basically start with a is equal to 10. I can have b is equal to 11.5 and I can also have c is equal to 3 plus 4j. So you can see that I have 3 different representation of numbers and I'll help you what exactly these are called as. So first one is integer. So integer is basically a number, it's a whole number, 25, 30, 1000, anything like that. So this first one, if you see, a is equal to 10, this is integer. But how can you get to know that it is exactly integer? You can simply do print a and then you can also do print type of a. So print is a function which displays the value of a, but type is a function which returns the type of a and you can see it is returning integer. So a is an integer over here. The second one is floating point numbers. These floating point numbers are having decimal places. You can see 11.3. In our example, I have taken 11.5. So in our case, I'll be writing again print b and after that I'll be writing print type of b. So here you can see that we have b as 11.5 and type of b is coming as float. So this is second type. So examples are if you have price, if you have to pay some fees. So all that are basically, if you are buying a flat probably, then in that case you will see that it will be floating point. Now third one, a little different. So these are basically called as complex numbers. Complex numbers, let me print and show you. So complex numbers look like this: 3 plus 4j. And if I want to show you the type of this, so print type of complex number and it will come as complex. Complex numbers are a bit different. Complex numbers are having a real part and they have a imaginary part. So the real part here is 3. So 3 is real. But we have an imaginary part also. So 4j is the imaginary part. Now what this j contains? J is called as iota. Iota is basically under root. Under root what? Under root minus 1. So if you see that there is no number for which you do square and you get a result as negative. Let's say if I do minus 2 and to the power 2, what will be the output? Output will be minus 2 multiply minus 2. So minus minus are going to get cancelled, and what we are going to get? We are going to get 4 over here. So any number you take, if you do a square of it, then you are going to get a positive number. So we wanted some number for which we can perform square and which can give us a negative output. So what we did, we thought let's have a number, and this number would be under root minus 1. And I hope you understand what is under root. So under root minus 1, so it is like this, under root minus 1. So if you do square of under root minus 1, in that case what will happen? It will be under root minus 1 into under root minus 1. So let me just do it. So it will be under root minus 1 into under root minus 1. This is how we will be, and the final output would be minus 1. So here we will have a symbol of multiplication and we will have the output as minus 1. So this is j. So j is equal to, j is actually under root minus 1. In mathematics, we represent it by I symbol. In Python programming, we represent it with j symbol. And therefore, we call it as the iota and we represent it with j symbol. So this is complex number. So it is basically used in multiple places where research is being done. Let's say some signal processing systems are doing some research over there. So their complex numbers are being used. Can I ask you one thing? What are the types of numbers data type? And did you find the complex number interesting? What exactly is iota? Can you give some applications of complex numbers and share us on the chat box? Waiting for your comments. Now, let me take you through the other data types as well. After complex numbers, we have string. String is basically maybe a name, name of a place, name of a person. String could be a message, a text message you are writing. So string is sequence of characters. And the string can also have numbers included in it. So characters could be alphabets and characters could be some numbers also. Now, normally we can basically write it as name. Name also we can write it as, let's say, first name. So first underscore name. So first name would be, let's say, I have Steve. So first name is Steve. And now if I basically print the first name, this first name is coming as Steve. And then what I will be doing is, I'll be printing the type also. So what I will write? I'll write print type, and type of what? The variable which I have declared over there, which is named as first name. So you can see that the type is coming as string. So we are following the same pattern over here. We are declaring a variable and we are initializing it with a value. After that, we are using print statement to print whatever is stored inside that particular variable, and then we are printing the type also. And here you can see that with these three statements, you can always get to know that what exactly is the value inside that variable and the data type also. After string, let me help you with a data type which is called as list. By this time, we are now aware that what exactly is declaration. So now, if I want to create a list, so what will be declaration? The declaration would be by giving a variable name. So for list, let me give a variable name as items. So items is the declaration. Then I'll be using an operator. We have already discussed the concept of operators. Is equal to is an operator which comes under the category of assignment operators. So items is equal to, now here I have to give a list. For list, you always have to remember you have to use the square brackets. That is the syntax for list. So what I'll be doing is I'll be writing the square brackets. Inside square brackets, I'll be writing some items. I can write items as 1, 2, 3, and this is a list containing 3 items, that is 1, 2 and 3. And then I'll repeat those statements, that is print items, and then after that I'll be writing print type of items, and then let us see the output. You can see over here 1, 2, 3 is the content inside list, and the class list is the output of type items. So items is a data type of type list. This is how a list is getting created. I will tell you another way also. Let's say I have names, not a single name but multiple names. Names is equal to, and again I'm creating a list and I'm putting some names over here. So we have Ron, then we have Paul, and we have Amit, and we have Sumit. So you can see that we have multiple names inside this particular list. Again, I'll be writing print and names. And after that, what I'll be doing, I'll be writing print and type of names. And you can see that names has got names as Ron, Paul, Amit and Sumit. And then it has got class as list. Let me show you one more thing. I'll write, let's say, I'll write some random items. So I'm just giving it a name. Okay, so random items is the variable name. I'm creating a list. This time I'll create a list with the help of list function, list list function. Inside this I'm writing hi, and then I'm writing 1. Then I'm writing here, let's say, another list 1, 2, and then I'm executing with the help of print statement. I'm trying to get what exactly is inside random items. And to your surprise, you can see that it's giving an error. There's a reason for it. I need to put all these things into a bracket. So I'll collect all that, select all that, and then I'll just put them into a bracket, and then I'll be printing it. And now here you can see that I have hi, I have 1, and I have 1 too. Inside a list you can see we have data types. One is string, one is integer, and one is list itself. So list actually supports heterogeneous items, and you can see that we have heterogeneous items over here. Did you understand that strings and characters are two different things? String are composition of characters. So is string a primitive data type or character a primitive data type? What would you say? In case of Python or other programming languages, what is your experience? What is your understanding? Can we call string as a primitive data type or basically derived data type out of characters? Please share in the comment box with us. So this was about list. Later on we will be discussing in depth all the functions in depth about list. So list is a mutable. That means list can be modified or changed. Ordered collection of heterogeneous elements. Now, like list, we have something called as tuple. This is another data type. In case of tuple, the only difference is it is immutable. And because it is immutable, it loses out a lot of functionalities which list is having. That comparison and difference we'll discuss in upcoming sessions. But here, let me tell you how you can declare a tuple. So we are talking about tuples now. In case of tuples, let me create items. In this particular case, instead of using the square brackets, I'll be making use of the round braces, or we call them as parentheses. So I'll create a tuple. And now I'll be printing items and I'll be printing the type also. Print type of items. And this is going to give us the output as 123 is a tuple and class is tuple. Let me show you. If you want to create tuple with the help of the function tuple, you can do that. So with the help of function tuple also you can do. So here I'm writing hi and I'm writing 1 and I'm writing 1 comma 2. So this is how I have written a tuple. I have declared a tuple, initialized it with some values, and then I'm printing it just to check whether things are going good or not. So print type and names, and let me check. In this case, again you can see it expects one argument. So I just need to put all these things into a single bracket so that it takes them as a single value. And now let us see. So a tuple is also heterogeneous. It contains a string, an integer, and a list also. So tuple is also heterogeneous. Let us move ahead and try to understand a set. Set is a mathematical set. In mathematics, if you read set, set is collection of items, but none of the item can repeat. In case of a list and tuple, items may repeat, but set never allows items to be repeated. Let's say you want to give a set of books to a student, and then you decided to give a set of book to 10 students. So you are giving a set. You're not repeating a book of literature 10 times to a single student. You don't do that. So set is basically a set of unique elements. Now, here repetition cannot happen and set are created with the help of curly braces. So let me create that. Now we have, let's say, item set. I'm naming the variable name also as item set. Curly braces we have to use, and I'll be writing a pen and a paper. Now I'll be writing print item set, and then I'll be writing print type of item set. So print item set and print type of item set, you can see. Now what I will do is, just to demonstrate, here I'll write pen once again. So in this case you can see that item set is still having one pen entry. It is not having double entry for pen. But on the other hand, if I would have done some more entries for 1 over here, it would have easily allowed. So here you can see that if I make one more entry for 1, the tuple would allow. You can see 1, 1, 1. So a single element can repeat for more than once in case of tuple and list also. But set doesn't allow that. So this is a set. Now you know about list, tuples, and sets. Can you mention the primary differences between them? And can you enlist the applications of list, tuple, and set in the comment box? The next data type we have is dictionary, and let me help you with that as well. To your knowledge, let me tell you, dictionary is getting created with the help of curly braces only. But there's a difference. When you enter the data inside it, you have to enter in a pattern. You have to first fill one value and then put colon and put the second value. The first value is called as your key and the second value is called as your value. So here you can see country is key, India is value. State is key, Maharashtra is value. Pin code is key, 411047 is value. So key value pair. So dictionary is a key value pair. So in this case, address is equal to, this is how dictionary is getting created. First value will be HOUSE house number, and I'll be writing colon 123. House number is 123. Second would be, let's say we have a society name, and I'll have to fill in society name, and let's say it's Lake View Society. Okay, Lakeview Society. So you can see that what I'm doing is I'm basically writing the address in the form of key value pairs. Now let me do print address address, and this is the address you can see. And if I do print type of address, so here you can see that the type is dictionary. So this is how dictionary gets created. So let me give you some examples of dictionaries. Dictionaries have been very important because if you talk about JSON format, so JSON format is exactly key value pair. If you talk about NoSQL databases, they manage the data in the form of key value pairs only. MongoDB, completely key value pair document. HBase. HBase is again stores data in the form of a columnar but key value pair. So, and then if you think about how the parallel processing in MapReduce happens, even that happens with the help of key value pairs. So dictionary is very important because it gives you an idea that how data is organized in the form of key and value pairs. So let's move ahead. And the last one, and that is Boolean. So Boolean is basically Boolean is A is equal to true true. The word true itself. So print A. So A is nothing but true. Similar way, B is equal to false false. Print B. This is basically Boolean. So Boolean gives us true or false. At many places we need this true and false because let's say if I want to put upon a condition and that condition is whether the person arrived or not. So I can make use of Boolean if arrived true, if not arrived false. That is how I can make use of Boolean data types. So Boolean is very interesting because it represents the things in the world which can be either true or false. That means it can be represented in binaries. For example, day and night, come and go, present and absent, pass and fail, 1 and 0. So many examples are there. A switch button is there, on and off. So happy and sad. So there are so many examples where Boolean can be used. And many times Boolean is also used like a flag. Now, what is this flag? So sometimes we need to set some condition as true, set some condition as false, or maybe 1 and 0. So we call that particular variable as a flag variable. So there also Boolean is being used. So I hope you got the concepts very clear.
So I hope you liked the video and all the concepts are clear to you. If you have any doubt, you can write us to the comment section. Like this video, share this video with your friends, and for more such content, you can subscribe to our channel. Thank you.